Welcome to this episode of Movement Medicine podcast. Thank you to everyone that's tuned in so far. We really appreciate all of your feedback. Please remember to share with your friends, your family, and your colleagues. And if you do have any comments or questions, please remember to put those on YouTube or Facebook, and we'll try and get back to any queries or questions that you might have. We thank our partners for the podcast. So that's the Fit India movement, the Back to Fitness Clinic, which is the clinic that Rajat runs, La Ultra the High, which is the race that Rajat puts together in Ladakh, and also the Moving Mountains Within Film, which is the film about the 10th edition of La Ultra the High. So I'll hand over to my co-host Rajat, who will introduce today's guest.
Thank you, Darren, and thank you everyone for signing into yet another episode of Movement Medicine. Today is a special edition because we have Dr. Sangeeta Saikia, who is not running for some odd reason nowadays. All right, so welcome on board, Dr. Sangeeta Saikia.
Thank you, Doctor. Nice to be here with you too.
Thank you, Dr. Sangeeta. So let's jump right into your academic and professional background, please. So tell us, what have you been up to so far?
So I belong to Assam, but my parents are working in Delhi. So I've done most of my schooling in Delhi from 6th grade onwards. And then after school, I went to back to my home state and did my graduation in dentistry. So after that, after I passed out there, again, I moved back to Delhi, and then here's where I got my job. I work with the Delhi government right now. Been in this job for more than 20 years. So 20 years with the Delhi government as a general dental practitioner. That's what I do. That's me.
Okay, great. So what about your sort of fitness journey? So you're obviously very active. Could you just tell the audience a little bit about your fitness background?
Okay. Actually, in school, I was no sports person. Never really played anything. I remember my dad used to kind of force me to go play something, and then he used to try to enroll me into tennis or something, and I would not get the ball across the net at all. And my brother would just jump by leaps and bounds and do better than me at everything. I'd get very frustrated. Not in school, never participated in any games, nothing. And then in college, I remember I used to be the standby. If somebody has to play carom or something and they don't have a partner, okay, Sangeeta, come. You don't have to do anything. You just sit there and push, all that happened. And then after I had my son, I kind of I was never fat or anything. So that motivation was not there that to lose weight. I need to exercise or something. But after I had my son, I did put on quite a bit of weight. And then I did lose it. But once he was a little older, I thought I would like to lose a little bit of weight and then, start getting fitter. That's when I started running. And then this was 10, 11 years back. That's when I started running. And then, I'm totally hooked to it now. Like from a fitness journey, it's like an addiction now, as happens with runners. So that's how I've been running, participating in races. If not, then just running on my own. And now during COVID, with COVID taken over, running inside the house and whatnot, crazy stuff.
So Sangeeta, talk about your crazy stuff that you're talking about, the DRG and other things that you've been doing, getting whole of Delhi to be running. Just get on to that, please.
Running is like taken over my life. So many people I've met, and I always keep telling, had I not been running, I would probably be around doctors only, because I had to spend so much time at work. And then but now, thanks to running, I know people. I know authors, and I know bodybuilders, and I know artists, and I know dancers. I know all kinds of people. I know all kinds of people. That's really great. I always tell people I would have never met you guys but for running. A is that. B, I'm mostly a solo runner. Kind of, I get out and run on my own mostly. But we have this huge group in Delhi called the Delhi Runners Group. We're like 8,500 members on Facebook now. So we started it on a whim when we started running in a group, and now we have these. We're all connected now. During this lockdown, what we are doing on DRGs, we're like setting tasks for people on a daily basis. We're telling them, okay, tomorrow we all run 2 miles strictly indoors, and then we post it on the group. So we see how many of them. So at least 35 to 40 of them are getting in those runs exactly. And we're doing fun things like, okay, tomorrow we run 4.86 exactly. Not 100 meters, not more, not 50 meters less. So if you don't get it, then you're disqualified. Doing these kind of fun things. And I'm realizing the importance of the group dynamics more now, because it is so important at this time to stay connected with people.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Obviously, people are using social media and video conferencing and things like that to stay connected is really important in this time. I just wonder whether you could tell us how being a runner has impacted your professional life.
Okay, as a runner, after I started, this whole journey of running and started getting fitter, like I'm in a government setup. In India, we have, in a government setup, we have many patients. Like in my small dental setup, I need to see around 75 to 80 patients every day, which is a lot of people you need to talk to. And being a dentist, how everybody's scared to be in the dental clinic. So you had to do a lot of counseling, counsel patients a lot. So I used to be on the edge earlier, much more than now. Even now, I'm not saying I don't lose my cool ever. I do still, but still I can handle the stressful situations much better. At work, I'm cool. Like even if I have to speak to 80 people in a single day, I'm okay. I'm able to connect with them better, able to counsel them better, chit chat with them better, because that's what ends up. Finally, I've seen, besides the dental work, how I am with my patients, how nice I am to them, how I'm not losing my cool with them is what makes me the better doctor, if at all, So all this, if I've had my workout in the morning, people ask me, oh, how did you run a 10K and then come to work? I said, well, that's how I'm doing better at work because I had my workout in the morning. Keeps you fresher, able to handle everything better, mentally and physically.
Brilliant, Sangeeta. So is your practice any different? Are you advising, are you consulting differently as compared to when you weren't active? So today, when you're active, when you're running, so is it any different?
Doc, you see, like what I do is in my clinic, I think most doctors do that. Doctors who participated in races and all, put up your medals in the clinic and all. So for me, because I'm in a government setup, like we have these patients coming from really poor backgrounds as well. Small kiddos come and they look at my medal and say, oh, ma'am, you went to Olympics, they think a medal is something you get at the Olympics, So then they ask me, what do you do? Then I tell them I run a lot and all that. Then they start telling me their own things, what all they do. Adults, young adults, kids, everybody. So then I stress. Normally also I stress if I see an older patient who looks fitter. The other day I had an 85-year-old man who came in and I said, oh, you 85? He said, yes, ma'am, not a day less. I said, okay, but you don't look 85. He said, well, I used to run a lot. I used to walk a lot when I was younger. I said, well, it shows, So these kind of conversations, I don't know if all my colleagues do it, but being a runner, being into it and being so much for it, I can't help but having these, the running coming into every sphere of my life, basically.
So picking up on your point about colleagues, how sort of active are your colleagues? Do they sort of have the same sentiment when it comes to running and fitness as you do?
They do actually. I was thinking, gone are the days when he used to say, oh, doctors are the most unhealthy or doctors are the most unfit. It used to be a fun thing to say, oh, doctors, they just know how to advise. They don't follow what they preach and all that. But by and large, in the last 10, 12 years, I have seen doctors are much fitter than they were before. All my colleagues in my hospital, I see that they do indulge in some kind of physical activity, so which is fine. And those who still don't, I would say they're just lazy, lack self-motivation, and I can only feel sorry for them because you can't go advising. Like for me, I'm advising everybody around me, friends, family, colleagues, everybody, that to pick up some form of exercise routine and stay fit, because it's not just to look good, it's to feel good, which is what I keep stressing to everybody. So I have been able to motivate quite a few, but then there are the lazy ones who will, I hope, wake up someday and get better than they are today.
That's the best way, isn't it, Sangeeta, that rather than telling them to get fitter and active, tell them how lazy, how aerodynamic all our colleagues are, and maybe we just get them running because of that, because I'm probably rubbing them the wrong way. So isn't that brilliant? So I think just jumping into the next one, the myth busting and the misconceptions that are out there in the society, in these, whether our patients or our colleagues. Could you touch on those a little bit, please?
Doc, like I said, because I'm in the government setup and the kind of patients I get, there are women who come to me. I have more women patients than men. I have women patients who come in. Sometimes I feel if I'm talking to them kindly, many of them come to get their stress off. I can make out that, okay, this is not a tooth problem. This is something more in her head. And then, I end up telling them, okay, I end up talking to them. It's difficult. I can't do it with every patient because if I start getting, into the stories of every patient, that I don't end up doing my work. But then when I talk to them, I realize that they're basically stressed. So to these patients, whenever I can, I try to tell them to walk, get up in the morning, walk. Don't think that cooking is exercise enough. That's not exercise enough. Walk. When you come to the hospital for little things, instead of that, just go out for a walk, move around a bit, These are the kind of things I advise. Normally, I do advise younger kids, like I make it a kind of a habit to tell them, keep asking them, what do you play, what do you do, how do you stay fit. So kids are more, but older patients, I try to tell as much as possible in my setup.
So obviously talking about dental hygiene and health, obviously nutrition has a big part to play when it comes to running and fitness. Can you just elaborate a little bit on sort of how, if you start running and you address your diet, how that might actually help with oral hygiene and health?
Okay. Oral hygiene. So the thing is, I don't know, with running, as vis-a-vis running, I don't know how much I can tell you, but normally, like people think that, okay, it's just the teeth. When it hurts, you reach the doctor. Otherwise, it's just the teeth, not going to affect your overall health. It's not like that. Oral health is very much connected to your systemic health. And if there's a serious, infection or dental infection or a periodontal infection, the bacteria involved maybe jolly well enter the bloodstream and cause you other health problems. So you're not to take your dental problem as, lightly. Even now, with the COVID, and because I'm in the government service and I'm going to work every day, I get asked by people, oh, what are you doing? Dentists are not required. It's not an emergency, but I know the kind of patients I'm seeing. Patients who come with an acute dental pain, I'm just seeing 20-25 patients these days because we have curbed the procedures and all. But those 25 patients are coming with acute pain. You couldn't sleep at night because of the pain, doctor, or acute swellings and infections. So a dental infection can lead to, bad things if we ignore it. And then people come and they're like, okay, it's just baby teeth. It's going to fall off one day, right? So why should we bother about the baby teeth? Well, the baby teeth are going to be there till 12 years of age. How are they going to eat if the teeth are hurting? The baby teeth are what are making the foundation for the permanent teeth to come out well, making the space. If they fall off before time, then you get crooked teeth later on, because the teeth will not come in the right place. So baby teeth are very important. But I'm generally asked by not just illiterate patients, well-educated, knowledgeable people saying, oh, but it's just baby teeth, So how? I don't understand. That is one thing. And the third thing I've seen, runners, I think, I'll tell you, sugar, sugar is the culprit. Sugar is what is causing, doc, tell the baby not to have chocolates. I never do that. I just hold the baby and I said, I haven't stopped having chocolates yet. I'm still doing my chocolates. Why would you stop having chocolates? That is the biggest misconception I see. Okay, it's not the sugar, it's the starchiness of the carbohydrates that you're eating, whatever carbs you're eating, if you let them stick to your teeth and you don't swish your mouth after you eat, that's what's going to cause the problem. Why blame the chocolates? I love chocolates. Why would I tell anybody not to have chocolates? Not me. I'm the good dentist.
So anyways, that works for business as well, isn't it? You'll be getting more patients as well. So they can have all the chocolate and they can come to you as well. So that's pretty awesome, isn't it?
I'm in the government service. I should work towards patients, not more.
Sangeeta, actually, before this conversation, I've never thought about the dental health for runners. So how important is that? How much should the runner be aware of dental health for their running performance?
The most important thing I feel, because now recently I've been practicing nasal breathing a lot while running. I'm routinely trying not to breathe through my mouth at all. I was more of a nasal breather anyways, but now I'm very careful about it. But as I've seen, most people, most of our runner friends, most of them are breathing through the mouth. Am I right, doc? I don't know. I think most of them breathe through the mouth, which causes the dryness in the mouth. So, which is very bad for the oral cavity. We have ultra runners, we have this, we have that, we have people running for hours and hours every day, and the dryness in the mouth causes dental problems. That is one thing. And then when you're doing these very long runs, you're doing these gels and stuff, so many of them, which stay stuck to your teeth for hours and hours, which is what leads to tooth decay. So dental problems may be more. Like I have read that it's more half more than in normal population tooth decay for runners.
That brings me to the point that if someone is an experienced runner, that doesn't necessarily mean that they master the art of running. What they've mastered is the art of doing it incorrectly, right? So this whole breathing, this whole dentist part could be an interesting one for runners, that sometimes there's always more to run, isn't it, Sangeeta?
So like the best of runners I know, when I ask them, they're mostly breathing, especially if they've paced up a little bit, they're mostly breathing through the mouth. Okay, when you're stressed and you're running faster and all, I guess if I'm trying to sprint, I'll also breathe through my mouth. But then if you've never practiced nasal breathing, then it's difficult. You just start from the beginning, you start off, even if you're running a slow run, you'll be mouth breathing. So I don't know people stress enough on it or not. I'm practicing it regularly for the last year or so. So I feel the difference. Though I do realize I caught on earlier because I could, master it earlier. I'm able to run my medium pace runs through breathing through my nose only. That's I guess because I already was, more of a nasal breather by default, not that I made an extra effort.
So the saying goes, practice makes permanent, not perfect.
Yeah.
So if you keep doing things wrong,
yeah,
it's just going to cause issues down the line.
Definitely. Nobody gets perfect.
So obviously we are in this period of lockdown. You've sort of suggested that, there's social media where people are setting challenges. What other things could people do in their home so that after the lockdown is released, they could actually become a better runner?
I'll tell you personally what I have started doing, what I never did. I started doing Surya Namaskars, sun salutations. So I'm like not a yoga person and but then I started doing that and I'm finding it so fabulous. I'm telling everybody, start doing some yoga. Everybody can do yoga at home, and now you have Google, just Google and go to the best video you get how to do it. So what if there are 12 mudras, but you get to do it. So those you do, then if you have a flight of stairs at home, go up and down the stairs. I've tried doing that. I'm just sharing what I've done personally. Then if you have a kettlebell, do your kettlebell workouts. I'm always shying away from them, but now I'm doing them regularly. I'm going to come out stronger, I know that. Besides, because I'm a run bug, so I will run. I'm running around the dining hall and the drawing room to the utter dismay of my pet, who's like, he thinks I've gone crazy. The people in my house already think I'm crazy. Now even my pet has joined with them. So I'm going round and round. I've run up to 15 kilometers inside the house, so, if you want to stay fit, where there's a will, there's a way is what I believe. So no excuse. And you got to eat healthy now, obviously, so that you don't gain weight and come out fatter post lockdown. That is important. So that's it.
Hey Sangeeta, so anything that you think we missed out, or maybe you want to summarize the whole conversation you just had with the audience, please?
Not really. Basically, stay calm, be positive, come out stronger, visit the dentist twice a year. Don't forget that. That's about it.
Hey Sangeeta, it's been an absolute pleasure having you over for this conversation. Thank you so much for coming over.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for joining us, Sangeeta.
Thanks, Darren. Bye.
All right, folks. So this was yet another episode of Movement Medicine, and we had the super special Sangeeta Saikia with us, who's always smiling. So keep subscribing to our channel, keep watching our channel, please, and keep spreading the good gospel word of movement medicine. Thank you, guys. Up till the next episode, keep safe and keep at home. Over and out.